Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. My name is Jenna, fitness coordinator in Bedford, and today we have our live hardcore glutes class. So we have 45 minutes today. Just like last week, we'll be doing 2 circuits. Both of those circuits are glute focused or lower body focused, and after each circuit, we'll go through each circuit twice, and you'll have some core work in between your next circuit. So glutes and core focused. Again, if you need weights today, I would say medium is fine. If you want to go heavy, you can. Totally up to you. You don't have to use weights at all. I'm probably going to use mostly body weight, or I'll grab my 5-pound dumbbells that I have here for some of the exercises. But again, this workout is for you, so however you want to utilize weights or things you have at home, please do so. We're going to get started with a quick warm-up or stretch today, just so we're ready. Our bodies are ready to go for this hardcore workout. So you're going to start a nice low squat. I want you to push your knees out. If you can get your hands on the floor, that's good. One arm is going to come up and over. You're opening up that upper body, and you're activating those glutes, sitting low in that squat. Back down. Other side, looking all the way up. Try to look past that hand. Good, let's do that a few more times each side. I'm just going to make sure we're streaming as we're warming up. Let's see. Perfect, we are live, awesome. Two more here, one more each side. Good, we're gonna bring our bodies up back to the floor, lateral lunges, so stepping out to the side, alternating sides. Your toes are always facing forward, and you're sitting back into the hip of the leg that is lunged out. Come back to center. I'm going to need some more room here, so I'm just going to go sideways with my lunges and make it work. Let's go for 10 total. Good, a few more. Perfect. Nice job. From here we have an inchworm to a push-up. So your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart. My hips are hinging back. My feet do not leave the floor at all. My hips come back, my hands walk out to a plank position, and then I perform a push-up. Let's go for 5 total. Walk those hands back in, roll your body back up, and then send it back down. Head leads, arms follow. Nice push-up. That push-up can also be performed on your knees if you prefer. Going back down. Nice and slow. Feel that stretch through your hamstrings on the way down. Feels nice. 2 more. If you're where I am, I hope you're staying warm today. Got a little bit of snow. On and off all day long. All right. Awesome. And then finally, our last stretch here. You're going to bring one leg over the other. If you want to hold on to something like I am, feel free. You're making like a 4 here, figure 4. Bending at the hip. And then just stretching out that abductor side of the glute. One side at a time. Get nice and low for that extra stretch, pushing that knee out. And I'm going to switch sides here. Again, I'm grabbing onto something for that balance. Stretch it out, sit back like you're sitting in a chair. And we'll get started with our workout. Awesome. All right, are we nice and warm? We should be ready to go. Our first circuit today is unilateral focused, which just means all of the exercises you're focusing on one side at a time. For example, RDL, the right side first, then the left side, or single leg movements. And this can help us figure out if we have any muscle imbalances. For example, you might notice one side is stronger, or this happens when I do a deadlift on this side. So that's going to help us kind of be aware of those things and help us to fix them over time. The second circuit is just plain old glute focused, nothing specific, and then we'll have some core. So for our first block, our first exercise is a kickstand RDL, or Russian deadlift. So you're going to start again one side at a time. You have 10 on each leg. I'm going to start with my right leg. So my right leg is flat, has a slight bend in my knee. My left leg is making a kickstand behind it. That's going to help us stay grounded to keep our balance. RDLs are coming all the way down and then all the way back up 10 times. So hinge at the hips, chest is facing the ground, and then coming back up. And then when you switch to the other side, that other foot is going to be your toe digging into the ground, making that kickstand, hinging back at the hips, keeping that flat back all the way down. 10 each side. After that exercise, you have a single leg hip thruster. So we're coming down to the ground in our glute bridge. This time we're going to start with one leg grounded into the ground. Drive through the heel. You can either have that other leg just kind of up in the air or out in front. One side at a time, you're lifting it all the way up with the ground, squeezing your glutes and core at the top. Again, you're just going to feel it in that one side, 8 each side, and then you'll switch, coming all the way up. So 10 kickstand RDLs, 8 single leg hip thrusters, and reverse lunges, 8 each side. So we're going to start, for example, if we start with the right side, we'll step back with the left foot 8 times, come back to the middle to reset. Back foot, get as close to the ground as you can and drive that front knee out. Your heel and toe stays on the ground. After 8, you will switch. So we'll do those 3 exercises 2 times in a row, and then we'll finish off with the core that I will explain when we get there. I'm going to grab my dumbbells. Just got some 5 pounds, feeling something light today. I'm going to start with the kickstand RDLs. Right foot, let's go for 10 reps in 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way down and back up. Trying to overarch at the top. Just stand up nice and tall. Take your time. Go a little bit farther back with those hips than you may think. No rush here. Here is halfway. We're going for 10. Should be feeling this in our hamstrings and those glutes. Great job. 2 more. 1, 2. Back, 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 back. Awesome. We're going to switch 10 reps to the other side. Here we go, making that kickstand. My toe is digging into the ground. My hips are all the way back. My head is looking down. My shoulders are pulled back. My back is nice and flat. You don't want to feel this in your lower back. If you do, maybe lighten up that weight or take away the weight. Good work here. You're halfway. Sorry about my lighting again today. It's not the best. Need a shade for my window here. I'm upstairs, so we don't use it too often. It's definitely bringing in a lot of light. Perfect. All right, first exercise is done. Coming down to the ground for that single leg hip thruster. Get into that glute bridge. Choose whatever side you'd like to do first. 8 each side. This is a lot harder than it may seem. By the end, those glutes are going to be burning. Here we go. All the way up. Here's 4. Get those hips up a little bit higher. Push through that heel. 6. 2 more. 7. Last one, you've got this. 8. Awesome. Switching sides, shake it out. Here we go with that other leg. In 3, 2, 1. We're coming all the way up. Using that core to help us control the movements. 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep pushing through this. 7, 8. Amazing. All right, we are back up for our last exercise. Reverse lunges, 8 each side. I'm going to use without weight. Put your arms wherever you'd like. One side at a time. Take your time here. Getting nice and low. 3. There's 4. 5. 6. Last 2. Okay, give me one more. All right, there we go. Left side, we'll switch it up. If you're feeling like this is easy, if you have any household items that you can use or hold, definitely take advantage of that. Week after week, if you want to slowly add in weights, maybe grab something a little bit heavier once you feel comfortable, but definitely focus on getting that form down as it's most important. Awesome. All right, there's our last exercise. We are going to go through a second time, and then again, finish off with some core. Getting nice and toasty here. I always like to warm up in something warm. All right, so again, that first exercise is the kickstand RDL. So let's grab our dumbbells, or just free weight, no weight. Toe digs into the ground, we're making that kickstand. Here we go, all the way back with those hips. Try to keep those dumbbells close to your body. The farther out, the harder your body has to work to kind of bring them in. So if they're way out here, you're going to be struggling. You want to keep everything nice and tight. Halfway, looks good. We are working on those glutes. Yes, we are. 2 more. There's 1. Last rep. Awesome. And we're switching sides. Toe comes into the ground. Here you go, let's do this. If you're feeling tired today, maybe you do half of this workout, or you do 1 circuit. Whatever you can do to make yourself better, to feel stronger, to feel good, is great. 2 more. Really far back with those hips. Yes, nice. All right, I am dropping the weights. If you want to use the weights for the hip thrusters, give yourself an extra challenge. I love it. Here we go. Single leg hip thruster. Hands are by my side. I'm driving through that heel. Hips come all the way up for 8. You are halfway. Keep it up. 2 more. Yes, nice job. Switching sides, shake it out. Feeling that burn. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Halfway, keep working through it. You are strong, you are capable. Let's go for that last rep. All right, perfect. And now we are back to our reverse lunges, 8 each side. If you want to use weights, just keep your hands wherever you'd like. Step it back. So feel this in your quads or the front of that leg. Also in your glutes as well. This is a squat variation, so more so you might feel it in that quad. Want to make sure your knee is right in line with that toe, so it doesn't go past your toe as you lunge. It stays just above it. All right, switch sides. Here's 8. Yes, keep going. You got this. I see you. You're doing great. Halfway. Two more, really go for it. All right, awesome, great job. Circuit 1 is done. We have our core work, so take a second, grab some water. Always grab water whenever you'd like, anytime. Awesome. All right, so for this core work here, we have bird dogs with a crunch in the middle, 10 each side, and then you have in and outs for 10 total. I'm going to show you what both of those look like. So the first one, like I said, bird dogs. You are going to start in a tabletop position. Your knees are on the floor, your hands are on the floor. Your knees are right below your hips and your hands are right below your shoulders, so everything is nice and tight, stacked upon each other correctly. My right arm is shooting out. As my right arm shoots out, my left leg also shoots up. I'm in a nice straight line. My hips are not moving back and forth. They're staying parallel to the ground. They're meeting in the middle for a crunch, and then they're coming back out. So crunch and back out. So my right arm, the right elbow meets that left knee. Then you're going to switch 10 the other side. So left arm shoots out, right leg, crunch back in the middle, bar 10. And again, we want to make sure we're not twisting this hip up like this. It's staying down for that full 10 reps, getting full core engagement. And then after that, you have 10 in and outs. You either have your hands behind you or if you want to just leave them off the ground for a challenge. But you're sitting down, legs are glued together, pressing your knees out and back in, that's 1. Keeping them glued together as you come out, feeling that in your lower core, and then back in. For 10. So we'll start with those bird dogs. 10 each side, 2 times, and then the in and outs, 10 total, 2 times. So when you're ready, start in this tabletop. I'm going to start with the right arm and left leg. 10 times, crunching in the middle. Here we go. Make sure when you extend out, you're not hyperextending. You want to still keep it neutral, so your back is nice and flat. There's 5, 6, find that balance. 7, 8, 2 more. Nice and strong. Yes, you can. And 10. Good. Back to tabletop. Take a second reset. We're going for the other side. Take a nice deep breath. Make sure you're breathing in and out with this exercise. So we're going to start here. Let's take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Yes. Keep that up the whole time. Get in the zone. Stare at something on the ground that's going to help you focus and balance. Halfway. Yes, that core is nice and strong. Great job. 2 more reps, team. Woo, awesome. You also feel that a little bit in your glutes as you're kind of pressing back or kicking that leg up, which kind of activates the glutes. So extra glute work today. We're going to go back to those bird dogs 1 more time, and then we'll do our in and outs 2 times total. Got a quick water break, and then we'll go into our second block. Awesome job so far. Let's keep up the good work. All right, are we ready? Back to that bird dog. Starting in tabletop. Get yourself ready here. Starting with my leg and arm out. Taking some nice deep breaths. Great job. You have got this. Gotta give me 2 more. Finish it out strong. Yes. Awesome job. All right. Other side, last time. Are we ready? We are getting after it today. Doing the best work that we can, feeling good about the work we're putting in. Again, even if that's just half a workout, that's awesome. Halfway. 6. Here's 7, 3 more. But feel it as you crunch in the middle. Good. All right, reset. Awesome. Great job with those bird dogs. We're gonna flip it on over for those in and outs. Again, if you can keep your hands behind you, if that feels comfortable for you. If you have a weight that you want to hold in front here as you do the in and outs, that works too. Plenty of options or ways to do it to make it challenging. So I'm going to start just with my hands behind me. The fingers are facing in towards my body. I'm squeezing my knees together already. Feeling my core engaged. Coming back out and in for 10. Pulling it in nice and tight. Awesome work. 3 more. Good. Rest it out. That one's much quicker, so we have 1 more set. Good work so far. 10 total. Let's do it. Halfway through it. Here we go. You should feel this in your lower core as you're bringing those legs out, just above the ground. Pulling it as tight as you can. Last one. All right. Great job. Awesome work with that first circuit. We're going to move on to the next one. I'll demonstrate all the exercises as before. We'll go through them twice, and we have a little bit more core to end it off. So for this next circuit, if you want to grab weights, again, totally up to you. The first exercise, we're doing shoulder squats, which just mean you're holding your weights on your shoulder. You don't have to have weights. You can kind of just hold your hands here. If you have like 2 water bottles, literally anything that you can use, that is great. I'll just use my 5-pound dumbbells to start. Again, shoulder squats, so curling them up, placing them on top. These are a little bit bulkier weight, so it looks a little bit funny, but rest your dumbbells on your shoulders. Squat position, so toes are out, heels are in. You step back a little so you can see me, like you're sitting back into that chair. The weights are gonna kind of help you focus more on your core activation. So now that you have weight, think about your core and holding up your chest nice and tall. You're going down for 10 squats. After that, we're coming down to the floor for our kneeling glute kickbacks. You're doing 10 each as well. So just like we were in our tabletop, you're doing the same thing here. 1 foot is coming off the ground, and we're just kicking it up. So I have kind of like a flexed foot here, 90 degrees with that leg, and you're just kicking it up 10 times. So try not to let it drop fully. You're keeping it up, and you're just kind of pulsing for 10. And then we'll switch to the other side and pulse for 10. And then we'll finish it off with glute bridges. I know you did single leg earlier, so now we're working both again. So we're moving away from unilateral. We're doing both at the same time, so maybe this feels easier. Maybe grab something, put it on your pelvis to increase that weight a little bit. But same thing, hips come all the way up, driving through those heels, and slowly coming down to reset for 12. So 10 shoulder squats, 10 glute kickbacks each, and 12 glute bridges. So grab what you will need for the second circuit. We'll get started. We'll do it twice through. And then some short core. And you're done before you know it. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my dumbbells, shoulder squats for 10. Think about that form and position before you start. About shoulder width apart with your legs. Again, those toes slightly pointed out, my heels are in. My shoulders are back, my core is engaged. There's so much to think about. Let's sit back into that squat. See how it feels. Can make adjustments as we go. We're moving. Here's halfway. I'm pushing my knees out on the way down, and I'm working even harder to push them out on the way up, because usually that's where our knees tend to cave in on the way up. So if we can work a little bit harder on the way up, push everything out. There's our 10. Perfect. Going to our kneeling glute kickbacks, 10 each side. We're pulsing it out. Here we go. I'll start with the leg here. Again, I'm at about 90 degrees and my heel is flexed. Pulse up for 1, 2, 3, 4, halfway, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You should feel the burn just right below your butt there. Right underneath is where that pulsation is going to happen. You're feeling that muscle work. Other side, again, 90 degrees, flexed, pulse it up. Halfway. Think of kicking the ceiling straight up. 10. All right. Back to our glute bridges. 12 total. Here we go. Get into that stance. Hands are flat beside me. Bringing those hips and core all the way up by driving through my heels. Thinking that my knees are still being pushed out here. Going for 12. I usually use my rep ranges between 8 and 12 for most of my workouts, depending on what we're doing. If it's something using weights, maybe it's 8 reps, just to try to increase that muscle mass, that strength. One more. All right, perfect. All right, we did our first time through. One more time. Take a second here. If you're feeling like, oh, that was easy, maybe grab another weight if you're feeling up to it. I am grabbing my dumbbells, shoulder squats. Again, just placing them right on top here, making sure it fits comfortably for you. Full body squats. We're going for 10. Here we go. Good, nice work with that form. Keep working for it. You're already halfway there, keep it up. Go keep those toes on the ground. I know sometimes we tend to kind of bring them up. That's okay, it happens when we're sitting back. All right, glute kickbacks. If you have a dumbbell, you want an extra challenge. I know this already probably burns, but sometimes I like to put the weight in the crease here of my kneecap, but on the other side. So where it makes that fold, you can kind of squeeze together to hold that weight there, if you'd like. And you can try to bring it up to 90, and then pulse it for 10. A lot harder, but you need to squeeze together to keep that weight in place, or else it's a little bit harder to keep that weight secure. I'm doing my best. Awesome. Switch sides. You don't have to use it, just an idea. I'll do the other side. Might as well even it out. Here we go. Or also, if you do have like a small band that people use for like glute exercises, you could also put that band on above your knees. As you're doing this glute kickback movement, it's actually going to be really hard as you're resisting during that pulse. So that's another great way to kind of build strength by using resistance with the band instead of a weight. Let's go down for our glute bridges. We have 12 total. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. All the way up. 3, 4. Really squeeze. Use your halfway point. Good. Got 2 more. Let's do it. All the way up with those hips. Go, give me 1 more. Push. And relax. Come down. Take a second here. Awesome work with that second circuit. We're close to the end. And a couple more things, including that core. How are you feeling? Our legs and glutes are tired already. That's a good thing. They should be burning. This is a glute-focused class. We're building those glutes. Next core work we're doing standing core rotations. So we're going to be just on your feet, slight bend in those knees. Your toes are facing forward the whole time, and all you're doing is rotating your torso or your core. 20 total. Now, you might not feel anything if you're doing body weight. If you want to grab any object that you have, if you have kids, you have a toy, anything that can be held right in front of you, to help you at least feel a little bit more of that rotation. However, if you do have body weight, that's okay. Just make sure you're engaging, thinking your belly button is going towards your back. You're squeezing the whole time, rotating. As you go through the middle, you're keeping that tension on your core for 20 total. That's the first core exercise. After that, you're going to grab something else, a weight. Let's see if I can even press this above my head without it touching the wall. I think we're good. I'm short, so it's okay. My ceilings are a little bit low. But you're grabbing that weight above your head, and you're doing 20 knee raises. So, coming up with one knee and coming back down. Coming up with the other and coming back down. For 20, finding that balance. So going nice and slow. With that exercise, when you're holding up a weight above your head, you don't want to overarch your back this way. So by bringing your core in and tucking it in, you should have a nice flat back and a neutral spine the whole time, even when you're lifting that leg up. So again, we see the difference between this and this. Tuck it in tight. So again, 20 core rotations and 20 knee or leg raises. 2 times, we'll do a stretch, and that'll be it for today. So I'm grabbing my weight for those core rotations. We're going to start it off. Have a slight bend in your knees here. Roll those shoulders back. Let's do this. 20 rotations in 3, 2, 1. You're moving slow as you pass through the middle. Be careful of your knees. You don't want your knees to start turning in all types of directions. You want to be safe with this movement, especially if you're using a heavier weight. So really just focus on the core rotation. I'm feeling it. You should be too. Halfway. Good. 4 more total. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, relax. We're getting ready for those knee raises. It's nice doing standing core work. You don't have to go down to the ground and back up. Better for the knees. Grab that weight, or if you don't have a weight, hands above your head. Let's work on getting that neutral spine, that back flat before we start. In 3, 2, 1. 20 total. As you're switching sides in the middle, try to come down nice and softly, soft landing. Keeping our bodies upright as much as possible. Good. Here's 10. You're doing good. Looks great. Let's go for 10 more. You're strong. You've got this. I know we're towards the end of our workout. We're getting there. Remember, it's only 45 minutes out of your day. This is time for you to show up for yourself. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. All right, relax. 1 more set with each one, and then we will stretch. So again, we're going back to those core rotations for 20. I'm gonna grab my dumbbell, set up. For 20. My low battery notification just popped up. Just had to get that out of the way. Big rotations. Again, knees and toes face forward. We're feeling it in that core. Give me 1 more each side. We are breathing, of course. Good, let it go. 1 more exercise, that's it. Here we go. I'm setting up, face this way so you can see my neutral spine throughout. Pulling my shoulders back. Core is tucked. Here we go for 20 total. Could also do this sitting. So if you're sitting on a couch or an ottoman or something similar, you can also just hold a weight while you're sitting and still lift up those knees. Soft landing. 2 more. Get that knee up to 90. Yes, awesome job. All right, relax. Great work today. We're going to end it off with a stretch. Even though we didn't do upper body, let's start by stretching those arms out. Doesn't mean we can't do a full body stretch. Got a couple minutes left here. Good, other side. Pulling that arm in nice and tight towards your body. Stretch out that triceps. Let's bring that arm. You can behind your back and then grab the elbow. Good, other side. Grabbing that other elbow behind our backs. Reach as far down your back as possible. Good, you can let it go. Feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to walk ourselves out to that downward dog, favorite yoga position. Press back into those toes. If you can get your heels on the ground, great. If not, press them as close to the ground as you can. Feel that stretch to the back of your legs, down to your calves, into your shoulders. We're going to pedal it out nice and slow, one at a time. Good, could be 1 more each side. Good, from here we're coming down and forward into our seal stretch. You can see me, hopefully you can see me. Hands are in front, I'm over my toes. Pulling my shoulders back. Should feel this in your lower back. Should feel really good. Good, from here I want you to sit back into child's pose. So you're bringing your heels together, sitting all the way back. Think of bringing your butt down to your heels, reaching forward with those hands. Reach, reach, reach. Feel that pull through your shoulders.
Put your head on the floor. Let's take some nice deep breaths. Should be relaxing. Awesome. And then finally, we're going to sit down on the ground, feet out in front of us. You're bringing one foot over. So I'm going to cross my right foot over, flat in the ground. My left hand is going to come in and kind of hug it in nice and tight as I turn, and I'm sitting up nice and tall, stretching out those glutes. Lots of glute work today. Make sure you're recovering properly after your workouts, taking your rest days as well. Everything counts and adds up. Go, let's switch it out. So my left leg's coming over. My foot is flat in the ground. Right arm is pulling it in nice and tight, and I'm sitting up nice and tall. And finally, we'll reach forward for those toes, and we'll stand back up. It's okay if your knees are a little bit bent. All right, let's make our way back to standing. If you want to go through downward dog or just slowly make your way up, bring your feet in together. Roll it up one vertebrae at a time. Your head should be coming up last. I'm going to take 2 deep breaths here. So as you inhale, your arms come up. Exhale. Let it all go. Back in. And exhale. Or give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome job today. Thanks for coming to Hardcore Glutes every Tuesday virtually from 12:15 to 1. I hope to see you guys next week. Bye.